All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to week number 15. That is right, week number 15, your final week of your 7314 class, which is your reference class. As always, I am your professor, Dr. Jace K. Austin, and this video is going to be, as you would expect, a bit of a wind-up video because this will be the last video because you have made it to the end. So, first of all, congratulations to making it to the end. Um, I do see that for quite a few of you it was a bit of a rough semester, but you do what you got to do, you make it through, and that's all that we can expect from life. So congratulate yourselves for getting here. I know that for a lot of you it wasn't easy, but hopefully you will say it wasn't easy, but it was worth it. Okay. A few things that I want to say. First of all, when it comes to the LibGuide assignments, I'm about a third of the way done with grading those, a little bit over a third actually. And so far they've been mostly good. I will say that there have been a few that were a little lacking, and I don't know what's going to happen with the remainders, but I will say that I've been overall pleased with what I've seen so far. And so the only outstanding assignments you all should have at this point, well, the only things that you shouldn't have graded, because I put in the grades to the final discussion board earlier today. So the only two things that you shouldn't have grades for at this moment are the LibGuide and the semester-long project. The semester-long project is due Monday night, May the 9th at 11:59 p.m. Central Time. I will be on the lookout for those. Please don't be late because I've got to do a grading blitz and get all of those grades in fairly quickly. So yeah, please make sure that you get those semester-long projects in on time. I cannot really grant extensions for those. Now, I know that there are going to be people with some outstanding issues going on. In fact, I am going to be one of those people. I will get my second COVID dose on the 7th, which is this Friday, and I've heard that a lot of people just really had a bad time with their second COVID dose. So I am going to see. Pfizer, don't let me down. We're going to see if I am. Hopefully, I'll only be out of commission at the most 1 or 2 days, and then I can go ahead and jump on getting those semester-long projects graded. But yeah, try your best to do your semester-long project, and I would also say try to hang on to your semester-long project because that will that's training. It is training to inform your future practice. Okay. Just some other thoughts from the course. I look forward to seeing the course evaluations that you all do. Whatever you feel I need to do to improve the course, please let me know. There were a few wrinkles in the course this semester that, to be honest with you, that I haven't seen in previous semesters, and I am going to honestly attribute a lot of that to COVID. I think that COVID has really now started to set in and started to set in. I mean, we're almost out of it. Well, hopefully we're almost out of it. I don't know that we're ever going to be almost out of it. There's been some disheartening news recently about how it's going to be sticking with us probably. But I will say that I think that the mental effects of the pandemic have really started to hit home, and I think that's affected some of the things going on in my courses. And I've heard this from other professors at other institutions, so it's not unique to you all. I don't want you all to think that you all are any sort of a special case or anything. This it's a learning experience for me as a professor as well. I do try my best to be, kind of encouraging and uplifting and everything. And I know that in these particular times we need that. But I do feel that I just feel that there were probably some things that weren't right for some of you outside of the course, and it may have affected how things operated within the course. And I'll be taking that into consideration as future courses come, or as I do this class in iterations in the future. Okay. Another thing that I want to say before we get into today's very quick topic, and I do hope to keep this video under 15 minutes, is that, this 7314 is a required class, but it's really just the start. I would encourage you all to get into some other types of classes that help with public services, be they youth literature classes, or classes for literature for teens or that sort of thing. I'll be teaching basically a business reference class this summer. And I still have seats left if you want to come join. Having business experience is going to be very, very good for your job prospects, or I should say, having competency with business resources. That's going to be very, very good for your future job prospects, because whether you're academic or public library, you are probably going to encounter having to do some sort of business reference. It's just something that comes with the territory, especially if you're at a college with a business school. So just be aware of that. School library is not so much, like your K-12 school library is maybe not so much, but I definitely encourage you all, if you want some training on business sources. The good thing about a business research class is that I get this focus solely on the business resources. And that way, instead of having to do like these overview videos where I talk a little bit about several different things in one video, I'm hoping that this summer, and I'm planning this summer to just kind of keep things a little more focused. There's a different approach that I can take to the business class, and so I'm looking forward to that. But a lot of you are probably going to, even if you're not going in specifically for public services, if you are looking for cataloging jobs or archival jobs, or if you're doing collection development, you're still going to probably have at least a little interaction with the public. A lot of times you do have catalogers, archivists, collection development librarians who still do 1 or 2 hours of reference per week at a lot of places, and they have to chip in. So I would definitely recommend that you keep building your public services toolbox. It can do nothing but good for you. So with that said, let's look at a few things here. We're going to talk today a little bit about learning language software. Well, we're going to talk about the software, but we're also going to talk about language learning in libraries just very quickly. The main thing that I'm going to advise you to do, Brianna Austin here, and that's a different Austin. I am Alston, Austin. This is Austin, like the state, the state capital of Texas. But if you go to this right here, or you can Google language learning in libraries, but if you copy this link and go to it, this is a very, very quick read, and it gives you a really good overview of some of the things that you'll probably be referring your patrons to when your patrons are looking for resources for learning foreign languages, which that can be a pretty common request, specifically in public libraries. So the first thing is first, I'm actually going to come back to the subscriptions to online resources, and I'm going to just go here and just tell you that yes, especially, and what'll happen a lot more than just people wanting to outright learn the language is, when I was at the public library, when people were traveling overseas, a lot of times they would come to the library to get those type of translation books. They wouldn't go out and buy them because they wouldn't be overseas that long. So like if you're going on a vacation in a Spanish speaking country, like in Costa Rica or something, or and you do have to communicate. A lot of times when you go to these destinations, they will have people that speak English, because the United States is such a, we have people that vacation so much overseas. But even if you don't have people who are speaking English in these foreign lands, then a lot of times what you'll have is you'll have patrons come into the public library and they just temporarily want a translation dictionary or something like that. And I'm sure that there are apps and things for that too now. I'm not a very appy person. I don't like doing a lot of stuff on my cell phone, but that is the way we're going. But for those who do not do a lot of things on their cell phones, that's when they, they might look for those translator books. And then also, my younger brother is Dominican, and he goes to the Dominican Republic quite a bit. And also he can't really use the cell phone the same way there, because the data rates are so much higher. So that's another reason why people may come into the public library and actually get a book to help them with common phrases and that sort of thing, as opposed to actually buying something or just relying on apps. So books will be, so you're going to want to have those books. You're going to want to make sure they're in your collection. CDs, I don't know about that these days. Nowadays, like especially with Gen Z, a lot of Gen Z people don't even have CD players or anything like that. They don't have things that can play CDs. And I'm a millennial, so I'm old, but I'm not old. You know what I'm saying? I'm 38, born in '83, so I'm technically a exennial, older millennial, but even with my age, like I've got a CD player, so I can use CDs and everything. But you'll notice that a lot of the younger generation just doesn't use them and doesn't even have resources to play them. So I don't know about the whole CD thing, but um, another thing that you're going to want to do, especially if you are a public services librarian, if you can get in the public library, if you can get classes going where people can learn a foreign language, as well as classes going where people who are learning English as a second language can learn English, that can be very, very helpful for people. So you want to keep that in mind. And so um audiobooks are very good, and you can find audiobooks through things like Overdrive. And if your library doesn't have Overdrive, then there are probably similar resources that you can use in order to learn there. So with all that said, the next thing that I want to come to is subscriptions to online resources. So yes, when it comes to subscription databases that libraries use in order to allow patrons to learn foreign languages, you generally have three subscription database resources that public libraries in this country subscribe to, either Transparent Language, Mango, or Rosetta Stone Library Solution. Okay, so those are your three, and a lot of times your public libraries will have one of the three. Not all the time, but a lot of the time, and we're very thankful and fortunate for that. And so let's take a look. I'm not going to actually go into these databases. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about them. So Transparent Language, this one is one that I don't find as often as the other two, but this is one that my understanding is that Transparent Language, a lot of people say it's the best of the three. I don't want to get into endorsing any of them over any of the others because well, first of all, none of them pay me to do so. But in addition to that, I just don't want to get myself in trouble when it comes to upsetting a vendor or anything of that nature. But Transparent Language, from what I understand, even like military and security personnel, Transparent Language is what they use to do their language learning for overseas work and that sort of thing. So this is no slouch resource by any means, but it's not as common. And when you go to Transparent Language, to their website, which is transparent.com, you'll actually see a tab for libraries. And I would recommend not buying. See if your library has it. And that's the really cool thing about Transparent Language is you can just click this library availability thing here. And now I know that I looked earlier and put in my zip code and saw that my zip code here in Kansas City, we do not have a library nearby that uses Transparent Language. But my mom actually lives in the Metro Richmond area, and so I put in 23234, which is her zip code, and it turns out that the library is in it looks like the Richmond Public Library System in the city of Richmond actually does subscribe to Transparent Language. So we do have a resource that does subscribe to Transparent Language near my mom, and so I would never recommend that you actually use the resources that are outside of your actual library's coverage. But I'm just saying, if you specifically want Transparent Language, maybe somebody can. Again, I don't want to encourage bad habits, but maybe somebody will let you borrow their login. I don't know. You didn't hear that from me to tell you to do that. I'm just saying that some people have done that. And so that happens. Okay, we are going to go a little bit over 15 minutes. I apologize, but we aren't going to go too far over 15 minutes. But yeah, so you can check to see if Transparent is available in any libraries near you. Rosetta Stone Library Solution is probably not as popular as Mango, but this one is still used by a lot of libraries. And thankfully, I think that there's even some price control going on there, where when you have Rosetta Stone Library Edition and Library Solution and Mango kind of competing with each other, then that allows us to probably rein in those costs a little bit. So you have that at least. There are only 30 languages, which I shouldn't say only. 30 languages is quite a bit, but you've got 30 languages. And again, when you have these as library resources, they generally don't cost as long as you are a member of the library. So this is a good way for people to learn within those specific languages and that sort of thing. And there's no tool that I know of with Rosetta Stone Library Solution or with Mango to see if a library near you actually has those. But the best thing to do in those situations is to, of course, just call or contact, chat, whatever, contact your local public library and see, and basically ask them, do you have Rosetta Stone? Do you have Mango? What type of subscription-based language learning software do you have for your patrons? And a lot of times they'll be able to tell you, even if they have to get back to you. Okay, so, and we've all seen the Rosetta Stone commercials on TV, but yes, they do have a library edition in addition to the very expensive software that you can buy from the store. All right, and the final thing that I am going to talk about with more than 70 languages is Mango. And Mango actually does a lot of, you'll see Mango at a lot of the big library conferences, maybe not ACRL, but ALA, PLA, all of those things. A lot of times Mango is going to be there, and Mango even sponsors a lot of librarian parties and that sort of thing. But they're a very popular resource within libraries, and Mango prides itself on being easy to use and being fun. And a lot of times you can find tutorials for Mango languages very easily. But I was very impressed with Mango's offerings, which include even things like Swahili and that sort of thing. So Mango is a very popular one. Again, now I'm on Mid-Continent Public Library's page for this, and so you can see that their Mango languages tutorials linked right on the main website for Mid-Continent Public Library. But you can also go to YouTube and some other resources to find tutorials for Mango languages. Okay, so that is it for me there. I am very glad to have had you all this semester. And I do hope to have some of you again. Again, I know that this wasn't the easiest semester for a lot of you, but you made it through, and you should congratulate yourselves for that. And, you know, if this semester wasn't your best semester, then still hopefully in future semesters you are going to do better and you're going to feel better. So that's what we're hoping for and believing in with all of you. We want all of you to be successful. And I speak not just for myself, and I say that for the entire LIS faculty here at Mizzou. So that's going to do it for me for a final time for spring 2021. This is Dr. Jace. Peace and grace. Thank you all.